Salmon fishing is an interesting and somewhat artistic activity. First, fishermen often choose the right time, usually during the spawning season, when salmon migrate to rivers to spawn. The most common method is fishing, which requires the use of live bait or artificial bait to attract fish. Some people also use nets to catch salmon in deep waters. When fishing, fishermen need to be patient and observe carefully, because salmon are very sensitive to the surrounding environment. After catching, handling the fish quickly and properly is very important to ensure the freshness of the fish. Finally, this activity not only provides a source of food but also contributes to the conservation and sustainable development of aquatic resources if done properly. In addition to using bait and nets, some fishermen also apply the method of fishing by boat, combined with the use of electronic devices to locate salmon. This helps to improve efficiency and save time. In particular, the use of drop nets can allow for the capture of many fish at once. But regulations on the size and quantity of fish must be followed to protect natural resources. When catching salmon, environmental awareness and compliance with fishing regulations are very important. Many regions have adopted conservation measures to ensure that salmon can still grow and develop. Fishermen need to regularly participate in training courses on sustainable fishing practices to improve their awareness and skills. Finally, salmon fishing is not only a source of income but also a cultural experience, associated with many customs and traditions of coastal communities. This creates a strong connection between people and nature and contributes to the preservation of local cultural heritage. In addition to fishing methods, salmon processing is also an important part of the culinary culture of many regions. Salmon can be prepared in a variety of delicious dishes such as sashimi, grilled, or smoked, and is often served at festivals or family parties. Proper preparation not only helps preserve the fresh taste of the fish but also highlights its nutritional value. In addition, salmon has become a symbol in many cultures, representing the connection between humans and nature. Many communities have organized salmon fishing festivals to honor tradition and connect generations. These events not only attract tourists but also create opportunities for younger generations to better understand the traditional craft and the responsibility to protect aquatic resources. Finally, salmon farming is also becoming increasingly popular, contributing to reducing pressure on wild fish stocks. However, this needs to be done sustainably to ensure that the fish habitat and product quality are preserved. This practice not only helps ensure supply but also promotes environmental awareness in the community. In short, salmon fishing is a rich and diverse activity, from the method of implementation to culture and cuisine, all of which bring great value to people and nature in addition to the aspects mentioned above. Salmon fishing also brings certain challenges. Climate change. Environmental pollution and changes in fish living habits have affected salmon populations. Many researchers warn that without effective conservation measures, salmon resources may be seriously depleted. To cope with these challenges, many organizations and communities have cooperated to implement conservation and restoration programs for salmon habitats. Measures such as habitat improvement, protection of spawning areas and sustainable fishing management are being implemented. The participation of local people in these activities is important, helping to raise awareness and community responsibility for protecting this valuable resource. Moreover, education about sustainable fishing also plays an important role. Training programs for fishermen, children, and community members help them better understand the importance of protecting the environment and the impacts of unsustainable fishing practices. Ultimately, salmon is not only a food source but also a symbol of the vitality of nature and the cultural heritage of many communities. The connection between people, salmon, and the environment is the foundation for maintaining a sustainable future for both people and nature. From catching to processing and conservation, every activity demonstrates respect and responsibility for a precious resource that nature has provided. Another interesting aspect of salmon fishing is the role of modern technology. Many fishermen have adopted advanced tools and equipment such as sonar, drones, and sensors to monitor fish activities and optimize the fishing process. These technologies not only increase efficiency but also reduce negative impacts on the environment. In addition, the use of mobile applications to share information about salmon populations, environmental conditions and fishing regulations is also becoming more popular. This creates an information network that helps fishermen grasp the situation in a timely manner, thereby adjusting their fishing strategies accordingly. In addition, the development of salmon-related ecotourism has also contributed to raising awareness of conservation. Many destinations have organized tours and salmon fishing experiences, helping visitors better understand the process and the importance of environmental protection. These activities not only bring income to the community but also create a connection between people and nature. Finally, calling for support from governments and non-governmental organizations is also important in promoting conservation and sustainable development programs. Collaboration among stakeholders will help develop a comprehensive strategy to protect salmon and its habitat, ensuring that this resource will be preserved for future generations. In short, salmon fishing is a rich activity that not only brings economic benefits but also contains many cultural and environmental values. To maintain the sustainability of this resource, the combination of tradition and technology between people and nature is essential. Another important aspect is educating the community about the value of salmon not only in cuisine but also in the ecosystem. Salmon plays an important role in the food chain. Helping to maintain the balance of freshwater and coastal ecosystems. The migration of salmon from the sea to rivers for spawning also provides valuable nutrients for many other animals and plants, creating rich biodiversity. In addition, the implementation of scientific research on salmon is increasingly valued. Scientists are conducting studies to monitor the health of fish populations, the impact of climate change, and the most effective conservation strategies. Collaboration between researchers, fishermen, and conservation organizations is essential to developing viable solutions. In many areas, salmon habitat restoration programs have been implemented, including the rehabilitation of polluted rivers, the creation of artificial spawning areas, and the reforestation of riverbanks. These efforts not only help salmon thrive, but also improve water quality and habitat for many other species. Finally, community involvement in conservation efforts is also important. Non-profit organizations and volunteer groups often organize riverbank cleanup events. Plant trees, and raise awareness about the importance of salmon and their habitats. The solidarity and joint efforts of the community will create great strength in protecting this resource. In short, salmon fishing is not only an economic activity but also deeply related to culture, environment and community. To ensure sustainability, there needs to be a harmonious combination of access to. Another aspect that needs to be emphasized is the role of policy and regulation in managing salmon resources. Many countries and territories have enacted regulations to control fishing activities, including limits on size, the number of fish allowed to be caught, and the timing of the fishing season. These regulations help protect salmon populations from overexploitation and ensure that they have time to reproduce and recover. Furthermore, international organizations have also been involved in protecting salmon, especially endangered species. Agreements on the conservation and management of aquatic resources have been signed between countries to enhance cooperation and information sharing. This coordination helps create an overall strategy to protect salmon globally. At the same time, promoting sustainable agriculture and aquaculture is also an important solution. Raising salmon in aquaculture farms can help reduce pressure on wild fish populations. However, this also needs to be done sustainably, with processes that ensure the health and habitat of the fish. In addition, education and awareness raising in the community are also very important. Educational programs on the importance of salmon in the ecosystem and the impacts of unsustainable fishing activities will help people become more aware of their responsibility to protect this resource. Finally, encouraging sustainable tourism activities related to salmon also brings economic benefits to the community. Ecotourism not only generates income but also raises awareness of environmental protection among tourists, creating a model of economic development combined with conservation. In short, salmon fishing is a multi-dimensional activity, associated with many factors from economics, culture to the environment. To ensure the sustainability of this resource, there needs to be close cooperation between stakeholders, from fishermen, communities, to governments and conservation organizations. As a result, salmon will continue to be an important part of human life and natural ecosystems. An indispensable factor in the process of conservation and sustainable development of salmon is the participation of information technology. Social networking platforms and mobile applications today have facilitated information sharing, raising awareness and connecting the community. People can easily update information on salmon populations, conservation activities and the latest regulations related to fishing. This not only increases transparency but also encourages everyone to participate in efforts to protect this valuable resource. In addition, the development of science and technology also contributes to the research and monitoring of salmon. Technologies such as GPS, underwater cameras and biosensors help researchers track salmon migration behavior, assess population health and detect problems such as pollution or habitat loss early. Such data are essential for developing effective conservation strategies. Another aspect that needs to be considered is the combination of conservation and local economic development. Creating employment opportunities in ecotourism and sustainable aquaculture can help reduce pressure on traditional fisheries. This not only brings economic benefits but also encourages people to participate in conservation activities, as they perceive the long-term value of maintaining natural resources. In addition, linkages between salmon fishing communities are important. Creating a network of fishermen, researchers and conservation organizations can help share experiences and best practices. Through this, communities can learn from each other and develop effective management strategies together. Finally, building a culture of environmental protection within the community is essential. Communication, education and youth participation in conservation programs will create a generation with a strong sense of the importance of salmon and natural ecosystems. These values will then be passed on to future generations, ensuring that salmon continue to play an important role in human life and nature conservation. In short, the success of salmon and other aquatic resources conservation depends on multi-dimensional cooperation between stakeholders. From technology, education to management policy, with joint efforts, we can ensure that salmon will not only be a food source but also a symbol of the connection between humans and nature in the future when preparing salmon. Using fresh ingredients and natural spices will enhance the flavor of the dish. One popular dish is grilled salmon with honey and mustard sauce, creating the perfect combination of sweet and spicy flavors, making the dish more attractive. Salmon can also be pan-fried to create a crispy skin. Along with fresh vegetables, creating a meal that is not only delicious but also nutritious. In addition to traditional cooking methods, many modern chefs have created unique fusion dishes, combining different cuisines. For example, salmon can be used as the main ingredient in sushi or sushi bowls, where raw salmon is combined with rice, vegetables and special sauces, creating a dish that is both beautiful and rich in flavor. Cooking salmon also often comes with learning about additional ingredients, such as chia seeds, quinoa or green vegetables. These ingredients not only enhance the nutritional value but also create a balance in the meal. Finally, enjoying salmon is also a social experience, often taking place at parties or family gatherings. When people share salmon dishes together, it not only brings joy but also brings people together, creating memorable memories. Thus, salmon is not just a dish, but also a part of culture and lifestyle. showing the intersection between tradition and modernity in cuisine. In addition, the use of salmon in parties or festivals is also very popular, helping to create a cozy and luxurious atmosphere. Smoked salmon is often presented on the table with fresh bread, cream cheese and cucumbers, shallots, creating an eye-catching and attractive meal. Salmon dishes can also be creative according to the season, with fresh ingredients at each time of the year. In summer, salads with grilled salmon and green vegetables and fresh fruits will bring freshness, while in winter, salmon prepared in hot soups or stews with vegetables will create a warm and pleasant feeling. Salmon processing can also be associated with traditional preservation methods such as smoking or salting, which help to preserve the flavor and nutrients for a long time. These salmon dishes are not only delicious but also an ideal choice for convenient, easy-to-carry meals. Finally, salmon also has deep cultural value. In many cultures, salmon is not only a food but also a symbol of prosperity and fortune. The glorification of salmon in cuisine also shows gratitude to nature and the resources it provides. From fishing to processing, salmon always holds a special place in the hearts of connoisseurs, not only for its flavor but also for the stories and experiences it brings. Another important aspect of salmon conservation is the development of circular economy models. These models emphasize the efficient and sustainable use of resources, thereby minimizing waste and maximizing economic benefits. For example, in the aquaculture industry, the use of feed and materials from recycled sources can help reduce environmental impacts and create safer products for consumers. In addition, the development of value-added salmon products, such as food processing, cosmetics or functional products, also helps to generate higher income for fishermen and communities. This not only boosts the local economy but also increases the value of salmon in the market. The combination of technology and tradition is also important in maintaining salmon fisheries. Fishermen can adopt new technologies while preserving traditional techniques, thereby creating a sustainable fishing model that meets market demand while protecting the environment. In addition, implementing awareness campaigns on the impacts of climate change on salmon populations is also important. Clear messages about the importance of protecting natural habitats will help communities better understand the connection between their actions and the health of ecosystems. Finally, NGOs and international funds can also make a major contribution to salmon conservation through research, education and community development projects. Financial and technical support for conservation and sustainable development programs will help increase the resilience of communities to environmental and market fluctuations. In short, salmon conservation is not a simple matter but requires a comprehensive approach. The combination of technology, education, policy and community engagement will create sustainable and effective solutions. As a result, salmon will continue to be a valuable resource, not only for people but also for biodiversity and ecosystem balance. Salmon fishing usually takes place during the spawning season, when the fish migrate from the sea into the rivers. Fishermen often use methods such as hooks or nets to attract fish. Salmon fishing can use live bait or artificial bait, while nets are dropped in areas with high fish abundance. Once caught, salmon is often processed quickly to maintain its freshness. When processed, salmon can be grilled, smoked or made into sashimi, each with its own unique flavor. Proper seasoning and processing not only helps to preserve the fresh taste but also highlights the nutritional value of the fish. Salmon is also often used in rich dishes such as salads, pasta or sushi, contributing to a diverse and attractive cuisine. After processing, salmon can be presented in many different ways to attract diners. One of the popular ways is to process it into sashimi. Where fresh salmon is thinly sliced and served with soy sauce and wasabi. In addition, grilled salmon with spices such as lemon, garlic and herbs not only enhances the flavor but also retains moisture, creating an attractive and nutritious dish. Smoked salmon is also an interesting choice, with a distinctive flavor and softness. This dish is often used at parties or as an ingredient for sandwiches and salads. In particular, salmon dishes are not only delicious but also rich in omega-3, bringing many health benefits. When processing salmon, paying attention to the origin and quality of the ingredients is also very important. Choosing salmon from sustainable farmed or wild sources not only ensures food safety but also contributes to environmental protection. Combining modern fishing and processing methods with respect for cultural traditions. Salmon is not only a delicious dish but also a symbol of the connection between humans and nature in addition to its culinary value. Salmon also has a deep meaning in the culture and traditions of many communities. In some cultures, salmon is considered a symbol of life and connection with nature. In ceremonies and festivals, salmon is often served as a main dish, showing respect and gratitude for natural resources. Salmon farming and conservation are also receiving increasing attention, especially in the context of climate change and the decline of wild fish populations. Modern salmon farms not only provide a sustainable food source but also apply environmentally friendly methods, such as using organic feed and implementing effective water management measures. The combination of tradition and modernity in salmon processing also reflects the constant creativity in cuisine. Many chefs have developed new recipes, combining flavors from different cuisines, creating unique and attractive dishes. For example, salmon can be used in tacos, with fresh salsa and raw vegetables, creating an interesting and novel culinary experience. Salmon is also an ideal source of ingredients for fast and convenient dishes.